Live. Don't just exist. But to achieve that, you have to be intentional daily. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to Legacy Talk. I thank everybody for joining me today, going on a journey with me. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you, just the time that you spend watching these short videos. I try to keep them short. I try to give information that I think could be useful, but do it in short segments. But I thank everybody. I just want to get that out there. I want to thank everybody who's going along this journey with me. And I just want to let you guys know I appreciate you. But today we want to talk about living versus existing. I'll tell you the way I view it. And I think it's a good analogy. It's a good way. I'm going to position it in a way that you're going to be able to understand it. And it's going to be pretty clear. So just say life is a vehicle. It's a car. And when you're existing in life, you're in the passenger side of the car and someone else is driving. That's existing. You're just going along for the ride. So when things happen to you, you're like a victim of the things that happen. You're not in control. You're not being intentional every day, making the decisions that you need to make for you to live. You may do some things that are fun. You may achieve some things, but it could be because you have life on autopilot and you have things that you do. But the reality of it is that you're not leading, you're not driving, you're in the passenger side. Now, we go to living. Living, you're in the driver's side. That means you're driving. That means you're in control of what's going on. Besides things that are out of your control, like we all know that God is in full control. But when you're in the driver's side, you're living. Every day you wake up and you're intentional. You're like, okay, I'm going to do this today. I'm going to do this, this, and this because I see myself here today. Or I see myself here. And here could be any goal that you have or any way you see yourself. Because we all see ourselves in a certain light. We all see ourselves in a certain way. Now, some people have the gall to go out and the motivation and the determination to go out and make that a reality. And some people just be passive and they just say, you know what, I'll let that go. I'm going to move forward with my life. And there's nothing wrong with that if you're intentional on doing that. If you just didn't give up because you gave up, because you don't believe in yourself. So living is the driver's side. It's I wake up and I'm going to go running this morning. And after I go running, I'm going to plan my day. Because by the end of this day, I want to achieve certain goals. I want to make a certain amount of money. I want to make these connects. I want to go to this networking event. Whatever the case may be, but you're intentional. And then as things happen that may take you off course, what gets in your way becomes the way. Now you just go through whatever obstacles or challenges or adversity. That's when you're in the driver's side and when you're living. It's a different feeling with life when you're living because you feel as though that you're imposing your will on this life as opposed to this life is just happening and tomorrow or next month you don't know what's going to happen to you. When you're living, you know what's going to happen because no matter what happens, you're going to still move forward. So it don't matter what happens. You can get the worst news. You can fall on hard times. But because you're living, you're still going to move forward, being in the control. I learned something early on in my management career, in my early 20s, when I was a manager at Macy's. And there's certain things that stuck with me. And they used to say, control your controllables. Because I was young in management and I didn't really, I knew what I knew from school because I got my undergraduate degree in management. But it's totally different when you get in the corporate world. So when I started, get acclimated and learning the jargon and just like most other managers were older managers, so they were experienced and they were seasoned. And we used to go through trainings and they would say, control your controllables. And I'm like, what do you mean? And I was like 23. I think I was 23. And over time, I seen it in practice, and I realized that that's a great mindset for your entire life, whether it's work, whether it's your personal, whether it's your relationships, whether it's your finances. And that was something that always stuck with me. And that is something that's very important when you're living. Like when you're actually living and you're not just existing in this life. Another great thing about living over existing is it's a certain joy you have every day, because every day is a challenge. Every day is a challenge that you're willing to take on. And the fact that you're fighting and you're intentional every day to win. Because the ultimate goal is win the war. You want to win every battle, but you won't win every battle. And every battle is daily. Every day you're battling to be the best you, to live. Every day you're doing that. And some days you don't want to do it. So that's really the key. I'm not saying living is easy. When you're trying to live and not just exist, you have to make a choice every day to do it. Now, if you condition yourself and you're a regimented person and you have a schedule, it's a little easier because you can go on autopilot. Now, there's nothing wrong with that because you were intentional to make your routine and your regimen. That's intentional. Now, once you create that, you can go on autopilot because you were intentional. That's totally different than someone who just let life happen and they're on autopilot because life is just flowing for them and they don't really have goals or things they want to achieve, whether it's be a better family person, better relationships, better in your finances, better in your health, better in, relationship with God. It's totally different. Being on autopilot is relative. It all depends on the situation, but if you're intentional about it and it's productive and you're being productive and you're becoming who you desire to be, there's nothing wrong with that. So I challenge everybody to really, really assess their lives and ask yourself, right now, am I living or am I existing? And be honest with yourself. Don't lie. Don't think because you're doing okay in life. Like, you can be existing and be doing very well. You can be making great money. You can have a great career. You can have a nice house, nice car, good relationships, and you can still just be existing because you're not being intentional about it. It's things that you do want to change, but you're not changing those things. So I challenge everyone to just be honest with themselves and ask, am I living or am I existing? And if you are just existing, I challenge you to challenge yourself to create ways and a plan to start existing. To start living if that's something that you desire. If it's something you don't desire, by no way am I forcing upon you to live a life you don't want to live. If you don't want to truly live and you want to exist, God bless you. But I'm talking to the people who do want more. And wanting more is just they want to be everything that God created them to be. Because that's what we're here for. We're here to be everything that God created us to be. And that's reaching our full potential. Being the best us. Being the best us so we can be servants. So we can be of service to others. So that's something I want everyone to think about. I want everyone to think about. I want you to really, really, this video is just really, it's like a gut check. It's for you to really just ask yourself that. Ask yourself, am I who I want to be? When I look in the mirror, do I love who I am? And if I don't, if I'm not the person if I'm not in God's image, if I'm not everything that I think I should be or moving towards it, it's time to stop existing and it's time to start living. So I thank everybody for their time. I thank everybody, this is short video. I just wanted to say those things. Once again, I want to thank everybody for their time. I want to thank everybody who just checked in, everybody who will eventually see this video. And I just pray that you guys have a blessed day, that you have a healthy mindset, and that you just continue to believe in yourself. And like I always say, that you don't just be, you be intentional. And no matter what you go through in life, you never stop believing in yourself. And you never stop believing in your loved ones and people next to you. Even though you may not always see eye to eye for them, pray for them. Wish them the best. Be the better person. Because at the end of the day, God sees all. So I say it again. I never get tired of saying this because every day I have to remind myself. So I say these things because I gotta I have to remind myself to be intentional every day. It's not something that it's not on autopilot for me. Every day I have to remind myself, be intentional today. Don't be in the passenger side, be in the driver's side. Don't just be intentional. But until next time, let's talk about it.